Do we need more content creators to create and repackage agriculture to we the youth?
Yes, but then what are they packaging? We need to approach it differently, right?
How?
Through the innovation.
Okay.
So just by me bringing the grass, right, has created a new opportunity for people to now say, oh, I can do livestock without hassle.
Is that all the package that Farm in Africa have?
So farming in Africa is grouped into 4.
Okay.
Under the branch. So we have the content creation, which is the YouTube, TikTok, and so on, which is farming in Africa.
Okay, you're on TikTok too?
Yes, you're on TikTok as well.
Farm in Africa.
Farming in Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, basically sharing short activities that we do at the farm as
okay.
well. Then the second part of it is the farm inputs.
Okay.
So when I started my farm, and you talk about the grass, where I cut, I process hay, I use the machines. A lot of people started reaching out to me. Where do I get the
So
machines?
you started the grass because the man from Mexico told you that his secret is the food.
Yeah. So I believe that if you want to scale or do livestock, in a business, as a business, then you need to be able to have a food. You can't have them growing.
You just said something right now. You can have a livestock, but it is not for business.
No.
And you can have a livestock for business, as business.
Yes. I mean, what is business? Business is to grow. So what business do you have if you don't see a future?
So meaning people who have, for example, who have like 10, 15, 20 goats, and they are not scaling it up, they are not in business.
I mean, you are in business, but very limited business. It's not going to sustain you. You're going to leave it at some point, or you're going to say farming doesn't work. I've seen a lot of people that comes and say farming doesn't work, and I was like, what expertise did you use in farming? You use your random knowledge, or he say, she say, and went into farming, and you say farming doesn't work, right? So for you to do livestock and really mean it as a business, you need to first of all have feed, and that's why, as I'm telling you, I have 100 acres just for grass. Just grass.
When can we go there?
You ask Bless. Bless will tell you when we're going there.
I hope you next time you will not tell me I should bring letter. Now I have the official letter with him, so no more letter. No, because it will sound crazy to somebody that I want to go into business. Why should I go and plant grass?
Yeah, but it's you want to start goats farming, right? Or cattle farming.
Yeah.
And the first thing is you probably build your shelter, but you're doing random grazing. If you have 1,000 cows roaming around, the headache alone will let you sell half. How can you grow to have 10,000 cows if they are randomly growing? How many goats can you have if you don't have a source of feed to contain them?
Wow.
So what I do is I have about 100 acres of grass. I have tractor, I have mower, I have rake, I have baler. I cut the grass, I rake them, I dry them, I bale them, and I store them as hay. That hay can last me for 3 years.
3 years?
So before you even buy a goat or you buy a cow, you need to at least have some tons of hay preserved for you before you even bring your livestock.
Over there?
Yeah.
So this hay that you have, you are only using it to feed your animals?
Yeah, goat and cow.
You don't sell it?
No. I brought some goat from South Africa. There was a Nigerian man who has bought some from me and planted it in Nigeria, but it wasn't ready. Okay. So he actually made me brought a whole cargo car of 200 bales and sent it to Nigeria.
Nigeria for him. So,
but I don't sell the hay. No, it's for me.
Would you have the intention of selling it?
If I'm able to grow it on a larger scale, which is another business that I haven't made the time yet.
Please, if you're university graduates and you're out there thinking of what kind of job to do in the agriculture sector, Fred is here. You can contact him. He will help you with a seed. He'll cultivate. He can even get to the market, because if Nigeria is coming to Ghana to even pick it,
we sell,
there's a business opportunity.
We sell more seeds to Nigeria than Ghana.
You don't mean it?
Yes, a lot of, Nigerians are into livestock farming a lot, the cattle and stuff, and now everybody it makes sense.
It makes sense,
right?
And you can even control your livestock from destroying people's farm.
And there's no limit of how many you can have. Right now, I'm building a goat capacity of a pen for goats for about 5,000 goats.
5,000 goats?
Yes, and I'm doing that because I believe I can feed them. They are not going to go anywhere. The whole place is fenced. And I've planted grass. They go and graze, but then when they come inside, I feed them with the hay. Because when you dry it, the protein content is higher than when it's fresh.
Wait, come again. You said what?
So
the protein content is high
when it's dry than when it's fresh.
Wow.
Yes. So the grass that I grow has about 18 to 20% protein. The local grass that you see here has about 3%. So that's different. And this grass was actually taken from Africa to Brazil.
Wow.
To genetically modify. And then I'm bringing it back here. So there's a lot that needs to be done, right?
So do we need more content creators to create and repackage agriculture to we the youth?
Yes, but then what are they packaging? We need to approach it differently, right?
How?
Through the innovation.
Okay.
So just by me bringing the grass, right, has created a new opportunity for people to now say, oh, I can do livestock without hassle, right? There's so many other things out there. Chicken feed is so expensive.
Very expensive.
Right? What are the innovations out there? When I was in university in London, a group of students, there was an award, it's called Hot Prize. It was sponsored by Clinton, the former president, and it was actually founded by my school. And one team came to Ghana to actually bring, I think, maggots, because of the high protein content. How do we introduce that into milk? Some people are doing maggots to feed chicken, to feed pigs. All those innovations needs to come from we the youth to be able to make other people. Not everybody can do it.
Yes.
But we that can come out with it will motivate others to jump on. Because if you're creating the content and you're still filming random grazing, you're still filming skinny cows, you're still filming, all cross-breeded goats walking around, what is the appeal for me to come into it? So we need to do it right and then be able to tell that story as a way of motivating others.
Okay. Right. So is that all the package that you see?
Yes. So there is the farm input, which is the seed, the machines that we make sure that farmers that want to do agriculture well has the tools that they need.
Okay.
So we have the seed, the chemicals, even medicines that we bring from South Africa, from Kenya for our agriculture. So that's the farming input. And then the third part is basically the commercial farming, which is what we are doing with the goats and the cows, right? And then one thing that we are hoping to do is an L&D farm, where people that really want to study how to do agriculture and more focusing on livestock can come and learn how to.
So you are not into vegetables aspects.
We do a bit of vegetables. I'm experimenting in some way. It's a secret. I'm experimenting huge. We are doing something on vegetables that you're gonna see when it comes out. But
I want to be the first person to cover it for you.
I will.
I know you cover it for yourself, but I want to come to the phone and interview you again.
I will.
Yeah.
I will. You know, we have a big lake lying down. So we are doing something with the lake, with irrigation and everything. But soon it's coming next year.
I'm also working on a project where to bring out the solution why farmers are not able to farm in a year cycle, but they have half cycle. They depend on the natural rain. So when I'm done with that content, I'll upload it, because if we really, like you are solving the food problem,
Yeah.
if we could also solve the irrigation or water problem, I think our farmers should be able to farm throughout the whole year.
Yeah. No, you will love this when you come there. We've actually built a small scale irrigation system.
Okay.
Like a mobile kiosk.
Wow.
Yes. So you like that for small scale farmers as well. So.
Okay. So is that all the package for Farming Africa?
Yes. So the content, the farming input, and basically what we are doing on the commercial and the L&D session for people to learn.
The L&D is the learn and
development. Yeah.
Okay, good. Then let's come to Sementia. I'm always struggling with a tree name.
Sementia.
Yes, Sementia Farms. Yeah. What is the package that Sementia Farm is having?
So the Sementia Farm, as I told you, for the past 5 years has been an experimental farm for me doing cattle farming, poultry, trying different breeds, different ways, doing goats and so on and so forth. Just to see what is more profitable, what is the long term for me. And the good news is that just in December, we actually decided to focus fully on goats.
Only on goats?
Only on goats.
Why did you sell the cows? I saw that video.
Yes, so I'm selling all my cows because I'm now going into goats fully. Why? Why? Because, as I told you, it was an experiment. So I grew my cow from about 40 cows to over 150 cows, right? And realized that, first of all, for me to succeed, as we've discussed, you need to have the source of feed.
Okay.
A cow eats 30% of their body weight.
Come again. They eat
in a day. A cow needs to eat 30% of the body weight.
Wow.
My cows weigh somewhere between 150 to 300 kg.
Wow.
Right? So even if it's 300 kg, they need to eat about 30 kg.
Wow.
Right? That is 30 kg is 10%. So they need to eat 90 kg, which is 30% of their body weight.
Wow.
In order for me to feed them 30% of their body weight, the number of land that I need to cultivate my grass. And then how many cows can I actually have is my limit. So I look, as I said, what is the sense of business if there's no room to grow?
Okay.
So I look at my cattle business and I say, do I envision myself having 10,000 cows? What is it going to take for me to have 10,000 cows?
Okay.
For me to even have access to that kind of land to grow my own feed for the cows, that means that I will need to talk to about maybe 100 family members, and they should all agree to sell to me.
Okay.
So that's a huge obstacle.
Okay.
And this is where again the government can come in.
Okay.
Where people like me that have the feed and we just need land, what opportunity is there for us to even, if we have the money to buy the land, to make this vision a reality? So I realized that there's no room for me to scale when it comes to cattle. So I look at goats. The demand is the same. If you have 10,000 goats, you will be able to sell them in Ghana with no hassle. The same thing with cows. I sold about 70 cows in 2 days.
70 cows in 2 days?
Without even putting it on the internet. So by the time I put it on YouTube, I had already sold about 70 cows.
Wow.
And it's just people from the neighborhood because they know how I do my things. So they will sell 5 cows to come and buy 1 cow from me. Yes. People will come and say, Fred, wait, keep this cow for me. I'm going to sell 3 cows, 2 cows, and I want to come and buy 1 of your cows because I want your genetics.
Wow.
So you do it right.
So even though, so that means you are cutting ties with cattle farm.
I'm cutting ties, doing cattle farm commercially. I'm going to keep only 5 cows. And in these 5 cows, what I'm going to do is start using them for the learning and development session. So anybody who wants to go into cattle farm can come
for consultation.
Right. And I'm going to start doing, bringing breeds from South Africa and the US, doing artificial insemination, really building data. For anybody that comes and say, I want to do cattle, I say, this is information for you to take. And that's why there's going to be that L&D farm at Sementia farm. But goat farming is what I'm going to do because with my 100 acres, I'm able to produce enough feed to actually feed about 10,000 goats.
Okay, that's good. So apart from goats, what any other livestock are you into?
So we'll do chicken, which if you want to consider that as livestock, but again, it will basically be for L&D and for the eggs for the feeding the school. But it's not going to be on a commercial level.
Okay. So are you done talking about the package that's
it's under Farm in Africa.
Farm in Africa and
Sementia.
Yeah. Okay, good. So now it comes to the main key area.
Yeah.
How much money or how did you raise the money?
Yeah.
If somebody's watching you right now and the person is thinking of going to a business, how do the person raise the money?
How do you raise money? There are other organizations.
Okay.
We all know that it's hard. So I'm not gonna be like that's your solution.
Okay.
There are other organizations that is trying the USAID, GIS, even MOFA.
Okay.
It is hard to get, and very few people will get it. My advice to you is start small.
Start small.
And start with whatever that you have. Right? Don't let
me. But when you say this, it doesn't go well with people.
Tell me why.
Because they feel they have to start big.
But that's a mistake. What experience do you? I used 5 years to do experiment.
You use 5 years to do experiment?
Yes.
And it comes with a cost.
It comes with a cost. And that cost is because I told you my first company was a travel and tour company.
Yeah.
Any money I made from that, I invested it into the school.
Okay.
Right? Then build the school to a certain point of sustainability. Then I started investing into the farm.
Okay.
Right? Gradually to what you saw now. I just bought a tractor like maybe 2 years or a year and a half ago.
Okay.
Right? So you don't start, you just don't get there. You start from where you are.
Wow.
Right? If you buy one goat,
okay.
if farming is really what you want to do,
okay,
and if you buy one goat for 600 cedis, I bet maybe 50% of the people watching us can't find 600 cedis in the course of 2 months.
So should I suggest if you need that 600 cedis and you're using iPhone 13 Pro Max, what should you do to it?
Exactly, discipline. That's the discipline, right?
Sell it and go and start a good farm.
I told you that if you want to be an entrepreneur, you need to be able to raise something to gain the success.
Okay.
Right. So you got to be disciplined.
Okay.
You have to know things to buy, not to buy.
Okay.
Right. So and if you buy 2 goats, my friend, it's for 600 cedis. You buy one for 6. Goat give birth 3 times in a year.
3 times in a year.
Yes.
Wow.
On an average, a goat will give birth to 2.
Okay.
They can give birth to 3, they can give birth to 1, but on average, they'll give birth to 2. So if you have 1 goat and you give birth 3 times a year, right, and you give birth to 2 on an average, how many goats do you have? You have 6 goats, plus the mom, 7 goats.
And plus the male.
They say you don't even buy male, you invest in just a pregnant male. You buy a female that's closed.
Wow. So
in a year, you have what? 6x your money. But you think 600 is small, so you won't do it. But if I also put $100,000, I'm getting $600,000. That's 6x.
Yes.
But that 100,000 and 600,000, the difference is the same. It's all 6x. So whatever you put is what you're going to get.
Okay.
So if I'm able to afford 100,000 into gold, know that my capital, personal revenue is more than that. So if you see 600 cedis small, I might also see 100,000 small. You understand? But you have to start somewhere.
Yes.
As far as the multiplication factor works, you start with what you can afford and you grow it.
Okay. So your first business, how much did you start with?
0.
0?
Yes.
How did you start with 0?
I've
done other videos which says they started from 0, but people still don't believe it.
Yeah. I started my first business with 0. I started I went to Cape Coast.
Okay.
It was in 2009.
Okay.
I went to Cape Coast, and then I went to the castle.
Okay.
And started loving tourism from there.
Okay.
So I came and I said I want to start a tour company. I was very young, high school graduate.
Okay.
And I started basically going to design my business card.
Okay.
The first business card I actually designed it on a PowerPoint. I took it to the printing press for them to print it for me, and they drove me away.
They drove you away.
I said they can't print it on a PDF, on a PowerPoint.
Oh.
So when I get money, I should bring it to them. They will design one for me. So I went hustle, make some money, and they design. So guess
but
what?
they should have guided you.
I mean, I don't know.
They are in for business,
yes,
so they needed the money.
So I went, make some small money, brought it to them, they design. So I will go to the airport and I see people coming into Ghana. I'll give them my business card. Say, hey, I'm a tour guide. If you want me to take you around, I can take you around. You know, I didn't actually get anything from there, but my business started from Facebook. I joined Facebook not for friends.
Okay.
In 2009 is when I first joined Facebook, and I joined by starting a company called Can Do Land Tours, and I'll create events that organizes tours.
Okay.
And that didn't cost me any money. So in my first year, I was very young. I was making like $20,000 from Facebook alone.
Wow.
Right.
No, wait. Is it from the Facebook itself or from the tour?
From the tour.
Okay.
Because to run a tour, you don't need money.
Okay.
Because you will pay me $100 to take you around Accra. So out of that $100, I will rent a car for $20. I will pay for your feeding for this amount. Okay. I'll buy fuel for this, and the remaining becomes my tour guide fee. So then I'll take you around. So I don't need capital to start that.
To our lovely viewers, you've heard in a smart way of starting business. You don't need money, as he has said, and I've been saying this, and a lot of people have been saying this. So this is one of the true story that we can learn from. Wow. you are smart and creative, honestly.
Yeah,
which secondary school did you go?
Oh, I went to what is it called, Doma. Yes, my dad is from Brekum, so I was sent to Brekum when I was a little boy. So I grew up in Brekum, and went to school in Brekum, went to Doma, and then right after school I came here to Accra, and then just started my own stuff.
Okay, I'll reserve this comment because you see, some people also say the school that you went have an impact on you, but I can basically say that no, it is about the way you were hungry.
Yeah.
That has pushed you this far.
Yeah.
Not necessarily you have to go to Presec, you have to go to Infantipim or these high-rated secondary schools or high schools before you can acquire this kind of knowledge and skill. So it doesn't matter where you have schooled.
Yeah.
But it's about how hungry you are for creativity.
Yes. And you make the smart decisions, right? I think I actually started a YouTube, another YouTube, which I'm gonna make it a focus this year to teaching the youth about financial education, basically, right?
Okay.
And I think our system has been in a way that you go to school, you complete, you get a job. You get a job, you make money, you buy a car, you buy a house, you get married.
I've also been thinking the same thing.
Yes, and that prevents us from doing a lot. Because let's say you go to school, you graduate, you either get a job or you actually start a business, whatever it is, and you make some money, and you want to go and build a house next. I would say maybe 70% of the youths, that's what we do.
That's what we do.
But I'm like, why? Why would you put your money, your hard-earned money for 10 years into a house that is not going to give you money back? So I made a video one time and I said, man, a house is a liability if you're not renting it or selling it because you've locked all your saving into it. I'll tell you a story. When I moved to Ghana, I rented my house in Osu, Nyaniba Estate, and that's where my mom is. Okay. And the first thing my mom said was, why are you renting for? I was paying like $2,000. Why are you renting for $2,000 and not building on the land that you bought? I could have built by then.
Yeah.
I was still very young. I came to Ghana when I was like 24, 25. I could have still built then. But I told my mom, no, that money, I'm going to use it to invest into other businesses. Even though I was working for Uber.
Okay.
So in Osu alone, I had about 8 houses.
8 houses?
Yes. In Osu alone, in Osu Nyanibe Estate, at the back of Kuala. And those houses, I mean, the money I invested in those houses, I actually made them back in less than 6 months.
Wow.
Right. So building a house never became a priority for me because I realized that it's going to cost me $100,000 to build a house. I can put that $100,000 in businesses. In less than 6 months, I will make $200,000, $300,000, and I'll continue doing that. To a point where I'm like, okay, now one of these businesses is what is going to build my house, and that's what I did.
Good. I think all the youth need this information. So I'll encourage you to work on that channel, that financial channel. It's something that I also did a video just at less than a week talking about where did your money go.
Yeah.
And I've realized personally, I use my case study, my life as a case study, and I realized that more of the money is going in the liability asset than is going to the liability set than the asset column. And it is not me alone, it's involving a lot of people. So we need this content. We need this content.
And I think what we even need to look at it is, where do we get this knowledge? Right? Because our schools are not teaching us about money, and we also have a perception about money, which is money is evil. And if you have too much money, you're even bad. So, and money wouldn't come to you if you hate it. If I hate you, you won't be my friend, right? So there needs to be, of course, that education, you know.
What are the challenges that you face so far in creating all these businesses?
I think to me is the skills.
Is the skills.
Yeah. Ever since I moved to Ghana.
Yeah.
It's been the skill set, right? We can go back to blame our education, but you can hire a university graduate who doesn't even know how to use Excel sheets. Right?
Do you know why I'm laughing?
Why?
I don't know. What you said is very true. Eh?
I have experienced it. I've hired thousands of people in Ghana, and it's been about the skill set. So any time I hire, you have to invest a lot in training. But then which leads to the second challenge is the person gets the training, and then he's also gone. So you don't move as fast. It's not like US. You hire people and they know what you're doing. So when they come, even if they stay for 1 year, they are contributing.
Yes.
If I hire you for 1 year, for the 1 year, I'm going to train you. So if you don't stay for 4 years and after 1 year you leave, I didn't benefit and the business didn't grow. So we could have grown much more faster if we had the skill set.
So your challenge is a skill set. So how do we solve it?
I think if you really want to succeed, right, in Africa, I'm not saying, I mean, there are other companies that have, there are different skill sets available as well, but you need to invest into people.
Okay. Right?
You need to groom, mentor, help.
Do we need to change our educational curriculum, especially, and do more of the practical than the theory?
Everybody knows this. So that's why I don't go there, because we all know it, right?
If we know it, why are we not changing it? I mean, that's the problem. That's the question.
The Ministry of Education, is trying to do the STEM programs,
Okay.
right? Which I think is a huge
project.
Yeah, to change how learning and education is done, but it's not enough. That how many people can go into the STEM program as compared to, right? But it's going to take some time.
Okay.
It's a problem you and I feel like
has this probably last but one question.
Yeah.
Has Ministry of Agri visited you?
Visited me. I've not even spoken to anybody.
But you know what, the reason I asked you this is like you are doing what Ministry of Agri supposed to be doing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
See, look, do you know what? I am a young YouTuber.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't see myself. Even you are far
I'm not
ahead of me. But I watch other content creators' videos, like Wadimaya. I watch a video. There are some other content creators outside that I watch their video on in terms of creating business. There's one guy called Anthony Anthony O'Neill. Yeah, I watch his content. I watch other people's content. I subscribe to them. Anytime they upload a video, I watch it. So I learn from them. If I watch your content, it's solely agriculture, even though you've narrowed it to livestock. We expect these things from Ministry of Agri. Why did you go and get the tractor? It is the job of the Ministry of Agri to get us those machineries. It is the job of the Ministry of Agri to make sure that extension officers are allocated to all these farmers to help them. Why are we not saying it?
I think when you meet the agri minister, that question for me too.
No, because it's serious.
Yeah, I think
people like you, even if you're not going to work in Ministry of Agri, you should be a major contributing consultant to Agri.
I don't know if I'm there yet. I'm also learning.
You are there. I'm watching you, and I'm telling you are there, honestly. Because even to be able to decipher and know that I need to sell off my cattle because of I need this quantum of feed. This alone is a breaking grounds.
It's knowledge, and that knowledge is out there. I want to encourage people that knowledge too is out there, that anybody can learn.
Yes, right. And they are learning from you.
I'm glad.
So the ministries, I think the government need to start poaching some of these content creators, pull them into the ministry, have an integrated system where they could restructure their policies and be able to help farmers.
I think it is coming, right? And I might be the first to start, but I think it's going to rise, right?
Okay.
And we will drive it. There will be a time that government will want to do some policies that they will know that, hey, if these guys are watching us, right? These guys have the platform, they have the audience. If we don't work with them, it will not succeed in the way that it should. Or, this guy has gotten to this point. Why don't we even make him the ambassador of that, or bring him into it? We will get there. At this point, I think we still have a generation that is very focused on certificates, maturity, and are not looking really at the youth. But I think it's all a matter of time. Right, and that's why I am very focused on what I'm doing, and I'm not looking at ministry or anything, because I know that the content is still very young. It is going to get there. You're going to have a young Minister of Agriculture who is going to do exactly what you're saying, but it's not going to take 2-3 years, right? It's going to take maybe 10 years. So let's encourage ourselves to continue doing what we're doing, and that day will come where the lights will start shining.
Good. I'm glad you are planning or you are already into something like that. From this question that I want to ask is like you've already answered it.
Yeah.
That do we see future for agriculture in Ghana?
Huge, not just in Ghana but in Africa.
In Africa,
It's huge. As you rightly said, agriculture is the backbone of many countries. You look at how much it contributes to our GDP, and to me, when I look at just the data and I say, oh, look at how much we consume, how much tons of poultry we consume and how much we produce here, right? The gap in there is for you and I to fill, if not today, tomorrow.
okay,
right? And we eat.
sure.
There's no house that you go in or no kitchen in Ghana that doesn't have tomatoes, that doesn't have pepper.
How many students have called you? How many graduates? How many organizations have called you to for consultancy?
I do a bit of consultancy. I try my best, but it's mostly people living abroad, right? Who have seen.
No Ghanaian have ever contacted you.
I get a few on WhatsApp. I want to go into farming, but I don't have money. I want to go into farming. And that's one thing that I'm really looking at next year. How do I make myself available really to support the youth or even organize seminars and stuff to do that? I know the interest is there. I know the interest in there. I think they need a lot of guidance. The money has become a block. Right, okay. But that's where I'm going to go. I want to get to a point where I'm able to give people like a pregnant goat and just say, you don't need money. I give you seed, I give you goats. Go and establish something. Right. And we will get there.
But they'll tell you I have to eat.
So then then you're not ready because you have to sacrifice something for something. I could have been doing a lot of things instead of talking to you today.
Yeah.
You have to sacrifice something. That's what life is.
That's good.
Yeah.
So what's your last message to your audience?
I think whatever you believe in, I'm doing farming. It doesn't mean everybody should do farming, right? Whatever you believe in, the continent has so much opportunities for all of us. Right? I was telling a friend of mine that if I wasn't into farming, I would start learning about video editing and all these things because a lot of the youth are going into content creation, and they will need editors, they will need all these skills, right? So whatever that you love doing, go in it and give it your all. The money is going to come, but not now. I invested 10 years of my life really into building to where I am today, and all was just hustling, working, and just be disciplined. Don't spend your money on things that you don't need. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, mate.
Fred, I really appreciate it, and I want to use this opportunity to tell my audience and his audience that he's a great man, and we should follow him. We should subscribe to his channel and subscribe to mine as well, as I bring you content creation on how to establish business and tourism as well, and tech. But